Friday. We'll see you back here on Sunday. It's Breakfast with Bob
And Poncho Man. We are presented by ES Sports Nutrition, Cliff Bar, Timex Roca, Tanya Pura, Rudy Project, Slow Twitch. One of our favorite people, Mr. Hector Picard, joins us. Hector, how are you?
I'm pretty good, Bob. How about yourself?
I am just fine. Hector, hopefully this time tomorrow you'll be on your way to becoming the first double Ironman to finish the Ironman Triathlon World Championship. But this has been a hell of a journey.
Yes, it has, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm happy to be here. This is a dream come true for me.
So take me back. You're working in 1992, and you're between a couple of transformers. And next thing you know, and I'm sure you don't remember any of it, but 13,000 volts goes through your body twice.
Correct.
And you fall off the building, which should have killed you.
Yeah, it's a two-story structure, and what it does is supplies power to entire neighborhoods. And I made contact with my right arm, went in through my body, out my right foot, and then on the way down, I grabbed again and got hit again.
Wow. And so you fell 2.5 stories, 7 surgeries.
Correct.
7 major surgeries. In a coma for a month, second and third degree burns over 40% of your body. You lose your right arm, most of your left arm. What do you remember waking up, and what was the...
Yeah, I remember waking up. I was in excruciating pain. I couldn't speak. I had a trach, tubes in and out of me, but I couldn't move or feel my arms.
And did you know what had happened?
I had no idea.
Someone had to come and tell you.
Yeah, my ex-wife had to come up to me and explain, this had to be done in order to save my life.
How tough was the whole rehab process, and sort of you're reinventing yourself? You're a different person at that point.
It's the toughest thing I've ever had to do in my life.
Yeah.
Ironman is nothing compared to getting your life back and being independent all over again.
Right.
Yeah.
And finding work.
I got my real estate license a couple years after. Sold real estate for a while. Eventually went through a horrible divorce, and it led me to the sport of triathlon.
So that was it. Really, the sport of triathlon was almost cathartic for you.
It was. It was therapy.
Yeah.
It was definitely therapy for me.
What was your first one?
First one was the 4th of July triathlon in Coconut Creek, Florida.
And ironically, Independence Day.
Yes.
And so you can't ride a regular bike, right? You have to adapt the bike because using the brakes, changing gears. Talk a little about, what did you ride that first time?
The first time was a $100 Huffy from Toys R Us. Sorry, I'm plugging the...
That's okay. Toys R Us, man.
And I grabbed some parts from the hardware store, and I created the bike. I moved the brakes from the handlebars to the frame, and I got a cylinder device that I put on the handlebars, which is actually a coupler for pipes. And I couldn't shift the first few triathlons. But the first one I did, I used fins, and they fell off about 10 feet from the edge. From that point on, I said, I'm never going to use fins. So, I didn't think I'd be doing this, but I loved it. I loved the sport.
And you've done, what, 113?
118.
This will be 118.
Tomorrow will be 118.
118 triathlons. And you've done some iron distance events. You did the Ironman New York, and then some iron distance events. What are the challenges for you with the longer distances? Getting food, getting nutrition?
Exactly that. I have to force myself. I have to follow a script in order to make sure I'm cooling off, I'm hydrating, and I'm eating along the way. Even whether or not I need it or not, I need to do it.
And I know you have a video online of you changing a tire, which basically you use everything you got.
Correct. Everything that's left.
Teeth, feet, whatever that needs to be used to get the tire changed.
Correct. It's got over 40 million views around the world, and it's cool to be known as the guy that changes flats without hands.
Your attitude is so good, right? What was the lowest point while you were in the hospital, and then you got to a point where you felt, you know what, this is reality, and I've got to make the best of it?
You'd be surprised. The most traumatic episode of my life is when my ex-wife decided to do the wrong thing. It destroyed my marriage, destroyed my security, and here you go. I got to be on my own completely.
Right.
It's the worst part. Part.
It's funny because you go through those periods, and then you have the joy that comes What people with disabilities have told me before about doing something like the Ironman is it's a level playing field. I'm the same as everybody else. I have the same challenges on race day. Is I need to get through the swim, I need to get through the bike, I need to get through the run.
Correct. And we all have the same obstacles to overcome. Some are harder than
Yes,
others,
yes.
but it's the same nonetheless. We want to get to the finish line.
When you swim, and I'm sure it took you a while to figure out what was going to be the best position, you're on your back kicking.
Correct.
And you probably could use fins if you wanted to, but no fins.
No fins. The only modifications are on the bike. Everything else is use what I have left.
Gotcha.
And it's all legs. To get a sight, I go sideways with a flutter kick, but it's mostly on my back.
And when you get on the bike, how do you change gears?
Shifting is with the DI2 system, and I use my chin. That's why I usually have the beard growing, so I don't.
So you don't get a rash on there.
Yeah.
The beard's protective. I also saw that you've got almost a little chest pad, something to where you can almost lay down a little bit. Is that the idea?
Yeah, that came about 6 months ago. I said, I got to come up with something to make it easier, and then I used an old bike rack, and I added a cushion to it and a piece of wood, and it works great. I can stay on the bike forever if I had to.
And then braking?
Braking is with my right knee.
Your right knee, so the
Correct.
brake is right down there.
Correct.
And how do you feed? How do you get food?
I drink through the speed fill bottle.
Okay.
And if I have to eat, I stop.
So mostly you're doing liquid food.
Correct.
What will it mean to you, you're here in Kona, to finish the Ironman Triathlon World Championship? Because it's not just at this point about you. There's people out there who think they can't do things. And one of the messages that comes across loud and clear when someone like yourself finishes a race like this is that most of us have no excuses.
I want people to see me and feel that way, that there's no excuse not to be out there and exercising and enjoying life to the fullest. I talk about being a role model. I want to be a role model for kids, especially kids with disabilities.
Yes.
I want them to truly believe that anything is possible. When they see someone like me going out there and all these obstacles similar to theirs, and he can do all these things that normal people can do, why not me? And I want them to walk away that way.
How many times during a race do people, hey, can I help you with that? I bet you spend your whole day.
There's a famous video on YouTube, Mr. Bob Babbitt here trying to help me with my my wetsuit, and I tell him, no, I'm okay. I'm okay.
I've done this before. I've done 118 races. Get out of my face. I love that. What do you think the feeling is going to be like? Because you've done races before, but the history here, the tradition, coming down Ali'i Drive, about to hear the words from Mike Riley. What do you think you're going to be feeling?
Emotion. I'm feeling it now. It's gonna be amazing. Nothing like it. I've seen the birth of my kids and my grandkids, and that's life.
Yes.
And this is a part of my life as well. And it's gonna be emotional without a doubt.
It's going to be a long catered workout.
It is 15 plus hours.
Is that what you're looking at?
I think so. Yeah. Realistically, 15 plus.
Yeah. Hector, thank you so much for being that role model. It's wonderful to have you here at the Ironman.
It's an honor to be here, and I'm ecstatic.
All right. Hector Picard has been our guest. We're presented by ES Sports Nutrition, Cliff Bar, Timex Roca, Tanya Pura Resort, Rudy Project, Slow Twitch, Poncho Man. Take us out.
It's Aloha Friday. Breakfast Bob will be back on Sunday. Woo! Breakfast with Bob.
Woo! Yeah! Love it.